Gaza, Hamas, religious wars. What unites us? What unites us in these troubled times? The deepest and the greatest yoga. At the core of every religion, there's love, the honor of it, the attempt to achieve it. This is spirituality. This is something that we also learn. It comes in the form of empathies, creative, objective, and compassionate, from which we get the virtues of art and truth and goodness. And these things need to connect to the dramatic self within ourselves. Part of us that feels the drama, that reacts emotionally. This introspective approach is the way of the mystic. It goes deeper than that, into the infant mind, which is, before you had language, concepts. I take you to a place where we will find a perspective that comes from pattern. The pattern that we need is communication between this dramatic self in ourselves and these higher virtues, which are spiritual virtues, which are forms of empathy. People talk about the science of religion. Learn from the brain studies and learn from urologists. They will tell you that empathy is learned and that it is essential to social equanimity. We're seeing terrible wars, and people fighting these wars have virtues that they have overinflated or that have cut out some of the voices. Where is the compassionate empathy in this war-torn part of our world? Where is it? Where is it anywhere? That is essential. Where is the objective empathy? Well, where? Headed empathy. Those going into Gaza trying to help all of the people, these are the people teaching the meaning of human need. Need and not be in pain. be able to love you. These brave souls, these helpers, real stars, spiritual stars of Christ. The religions have at their core attempt to be virtuous. Let's consider the yes, that's not a word. It should be. I'm not trying to go too far. Hating words. Express ideas. Shakespeare got away with it. I'm no Shakespeare. Anyway, yeah, you've got to see the irony of two religious groups clashing. All of whom say they're descendants of Abraham. But Islam reached out. Not just family, the whole world family. Everybody can. And Judaism tries to do the same thing. Still more a heritage sort of focus. And the Christians, they spread that out to include the whole human race. Well, love unites us. It's not that any of us are the most important. We are important together. And only together can we find peace, virtue. When it comes to governments, the forms of empathy need to be in place. And it's helpful to understand the institutions that reflect these empathies and these points in communication. The dramatic self, and some would say different views on Atman. Atman is everything. It's same as Brahma, same as God. Well, let's dispense with those terms. If I were going to use them, say Atman. Atman is the dramatic self and the creative perspective, the Paramatma, ruler of how we image the world to be, and the watcher lives, from which perspective everything is wonderful, joy. But it's not just pure bliss all the time. To have enjoyment, communication with this dramatic self in yourself, and let's get back to the institutions. The creative empathy is most tied through the media, giving you many different perspectives. There are many brave souls who want to give us these perspectives. They're right now in Gaza, risking their lives along with the helpers. And the core dramatic experience that we have best exemplified by the institution of business, which includes all trading partners. That includes workers, trading partners. Understand this, then understand the need for unions. However, we also need business to be educated by the media. Our trade needs to be educated by these brave souls giving us the word. What's going on? From different perspectives, creative thought. And we also need a sense of guidance. That's our objective that guides us from the present point. In a way, it's a kind of incarnation of the creative empathy. As viewed in our timeline. Compassionate empathy, that's church. Whatever's familial, extended family exist, whatever religious form. And all of these things working together will bring us the greatest peace, but they need to be divided and yet united through how we act through harmony, how we behave. There's a lot of, what is the virtue attached to that? It's trust, faith. And the faith in these other empathies is there. Then we have peace. Business is an important part of peace. It is the core experience, impacting experience that we have. So the compassionate empathy can be seen as an incarnation of which things to be creative self. And there's a bit of enlightenment when you ego transcendence, when you understand that your dramatic self is also experience it, know it, an incarnation of you imagine things to be, an incarnation of creative empathy. And so, all of these things are one, but they need to exist in harmony. And that harmony comes from understanding this, understanding, well, this is how we will bring peace to Gaza. Inclusive power. And the efforts of all of these aspects in that situation. Yeah. So to respect the people in Gaza suffering at this time need to understand that they are of value to us. That's the business perspective. Yes, they are. They are an opportunity to love. What is love without the opportunity to give love? See it. Right now, their cries can be heard around the world, as are the cries of the Ukrainians and the Russians fighting. Diplomacy, government trying to use objectivity to this problem. That's many kudos to those who engage in this service. In the United States, we have many different religions. They get together to create food pantries. So there is an example for you of people putting love first. The mystic is the person who is all about the experience of love and the understanding and the passion and the creativity involved. The ego transcendent. The mystic is the person who tries to bring all the religions together, and that tries to unite everyone. They're not trying to unite you, trying to divide you. The vision is going to be there. But you need to understand that the attempt to unify love is a part of that drama that gives it meaning. It would be sad to think that in all this drama there was no meaning. There is meaning and there is opportunity. So I call out to all the businesses, all of the media, to all of the religious organizations, extended family organizations, to governments, to understand these things, come together. Stop killing our kids. Right? If anything tells us we're on the wrong path, and when the rights of women and children are impaired, what does that talk about? What am I saying? Power. Power corrupts. How many times do people have to say that? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Urge for power is anti-spiritual. It's all about gain. And why is this a sickness? Why does, for instance, Jesus refer to the love of money being the root of all evil? You think trade is evil? No. Craving for symbolic need. And symbolic need, why is it there? Because of damaged faith and love. The needs that we did not get met, they created feelings of helplessness. Helplessness There's no trust there. No up there. It's a darkness. Going from darkness to light, we need to unlearn that helplessness. Love is the pathway to unlearning that helplessness. All of its empathetic fashions. And to help you reboot your self-image into spiritual one, also has to journey into the infant mind. There you see the roots of the empathies. There are three things that we have as an infant that are already there, seemingly. The ability to express feelings, be play with feelings, and focus on feeling. That happens well, pretty early. And from focus, well, that evolved in social context into objectivity and objective empathy. Okay. Expression of feeling, how did that evolve? That evolved into compassionate empathy. And play that evolved into creative empathy. That ability to create the game, play, create how we imagine things to be. Now, the incarnation of the creative into that which we imagine to be compassionate empathy is a helping hand of the yourself. In terms of bringing peace and enrichment to our sense of the past. And so, in a sense, that creative self reaches into your past. It's compassionate empathy. I say that's about the past because that's terms of healing. That's you heal from what happened to you. Right? It's happening to you now. So that's the present looking into the past and communicating. So, compassion and objectivity, important. They are part of the timeline. The timeline is that communication with the drama of our lives. In a helping way. The higher self is down. our drama. In that drama, you are the main character. Or it calls you to the virtues. Calls you. Calling you to be the hero of love in your life. All of these things work together. To teach these things is to spread the true Dharma. The true understanding that surpasses all. Now, the infant mind and ego transcendence. Back to that. When you experience in a loving way these three abilities of the infant mind, expression of feeling, play with feeling, of focus on feeling. When you do that, you enter into the infant mind perspective, and in that perspective there is no self-concept. You're no longer a criminal, or however you want to see it. You're no longer the saint. You're no longer any concept. You're an open book. We've discovered chemically how this primitive part of the brain can be awakened. And there's research going on with that. It will help a great deal with mental health. But practicing these things within yourself is just as important as practicing these things outside. In closing, I would like to say, give my thanks to all those of whatever institution of society are attempting to ease the pain and the suffering of Ukraine in these areas and around the world. Bless you. May all that is love in me honor all that is love. Namaste.